the things that were supposed to cause conflicts end up being the things that solidified the relationship, take us deeper in our understanding of ourselves and in our feeling of oneness with one another. And that's where we came about that title, Bumpy But Sweet. To give a very practical example, the one I started with in February 2016, Bible college, I was like in a seminary, and I knew as of the time we were already talking about getting married, so plans were already kind of like going on, getting married. But we had an exchange of conversation, text messages. I can't remember the details of the issue, but I knew it had to do with money. I think she was aware that I didn't have money at the time, and she went out of her way to get some money and send to me. I think it was something along that line. And I was wondering, I also knew that she actually didn't have money as such at the time. So I think I was asking where she got the money from and things like that. And just that simple kind of conversation went sideways and turned into something else. And she made a statement. I think she replied by saying, "What does it matter? Like, what does it matter wherever I got the money from?" And that kind of landed on the wrong side of my heart and the wrong side of my ears. My ego was all alive, and I'm like, how can she talk to me like that? And I think maybe I probably said some other things, and I can't remember. I just knew that, okay, we came to this point where she said things that made it look like, wow, we've been in this courtship for 4 years, and you're making it sound like I don't even know you. Like, I have no clue about who you are. That was where the whole thing was going. And of course, conflict does that. It makes you kind of like amplify issues out of proportion. And so she's saying this, you are hearing the amplified version, and you are responding based on the amplified version you've heard in your heart. And she's also giving it back to you in another amplified version. And so both of us were speaking in exaggerations in a manner of speaking. But what happened after that thread of conversation, again, coming back to the point of the place of the Holy Spirit, the first instruction I knew that I heard from God was, okay, so start searching for coach tickets. I know I can't afford train tickets at the time. So I went online, started looking for the next available coach tickets to Birmingham to go and see. I didn't even tell her I was coming. But because it was a coach ride and the cheap one that I could afford had to be the kind of coach that would take you all around the UK before it gets to Birmingham. So it was a journey of like 7 hours or something like that for a trip that would normally be like 3 hours in the max. And so I had a long time to think on the coach, to pray, to ask God, what's going on? What have I done wrong? At the point in time, it was in February, so this is Valentine's season, and I'd just done a customized journal for both of us with a picture on it and some quotes and things like that, and had it delivered to my house. So I thought, okay, I will take the journals to her. I did 2 copies, one for her, one for myself, and I said, okay, I will go to Birmingham unannounced, uninvited, get there, announce myself that I'm here, and then we talk through the issues, and I will get back to Bradford the same day. But yeah, on the coach, I started praying and asking God what's going on. And it led me to listen to a YouTube video. It's actually an audio book. And unfortunately, it's no longer on YouTube the last time I searched. But it's the book that was titled Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. To the best of my knowledge, the book was not written it wasn't written from a Christian perspective. It was written by one man called Dr. John Gray. And I'm not sure whether he's a Christian or not. But he shared some interesting wisdom that was very applicable to my context at the time. It helped me to see what I haven't seen in 4 years of courtship, that there is a uniqueness to men and a uniqueness to women, which I thought I knew, but I didn't know. Because when it started unpacking what that looks like, I started seeing that there is a way that I've been responding as a typical man will respond, which is very hurtful or confusing in a manner of speaking to the woman. And so I started seeing my errors basically. But at the same time, I started seeing our own errors as well. So I've not been listening, basically. That's my offense. I thought I've been communicating well. I thought we've been having very wonderful quality communication. I didn't know that was actually the weakest point of our relationship in all of those 4 years. And because she's not the kind of person that will come out outrightly to accuse me of what I'm doing wrong or point out my offenses, I kept assuming that everything was fine. And I kept thanking God that I have a girl that doesn't disturb me. I kept thanking God when I'm gisting with my colleagues that all of you be saying your babes are troubling you. My own babe doesn't trouble me at all. She's just so cool. She's just fine and everything. So it's that book basically that helped me see things in perspective. Got to Birmingham. And of course, as I'm saying this, the Holy Spirit was already ministering to her as well from our own side of it. So by the time we saw ourselves at the coach station, the fact is there was actually no conflict existing. We just got to our house, to our room, and I did what the Holy Spirit told me to do. Give her the journal, asked her 5 questions, and told her to write her answer in my own copy of the journal. I answered the same question in her own copy of the journal. And these are questions about expectations. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And just trying to actually get to know her. What I have not done in 4 years, to do it in 5 minutes. But eventually, I mean, that became a turning point for us. I also got her to listen to the audiobook that I listened to. And so both of us now saw that actually we have some more learning to do. And that learning is still ongoing till now. So I'll stop there.